It's not every day that I get to take a look at something that's rather interesting and really unique. Now I love the folks over at Razer, no doubt about it. The Razer Blade is one of the best gaming laptops out there, and the Basilisk V3 is arguably my favorite gaming mouse. But this is something that I did not expect them to actually do. So this is the Razer Zephyr, and it's the company's safe, social and sustainable mask that would surely turn heads if you're out in public wearing it. Honestly, looking at it, it's so over the top with the whole design and the RGB along with it. Now, is it excessive? Yes. But is it extremely cool? Well, absolutely yes. But even so, it's actually a proper mask, believe it or not. Or to be more accurate, it's actually a wearable air purifier. It features N95 grade melt blown filters with a 99% BFE rating, which means it can filter out 95% of 0.3 microns particles in the air, and it complies with mask mandates in both the US and the UK. Though Razer does point out on their product page that you might want to check that depending on where you are. So yes, it is a proper mask, N95 grade at that, and given our current world situation still, it might actually give you a little bit more sense of assurance. But with that said, let's go ahead and wear this mask and talk about all the nifty little features that it actually comes with. And wearing it is actually pretty simple. You have pretty elastic head straps, and all you gotta do is just put it over your head, both of them, and kind of position them gently over your mouth area, the silicone piece, and behind this, you can just press on it and tighten. Right. And there you go. Snug and fit. Pretty simple. Now first up, I do have to say that it is actually rather comfortable. Now the silicone piece that presses against your face, there are actually holes along the perimeter of it, so it gives you a little bit more ventilation and helps to kind of reduce the pressure when it's pressing against your skin. So if you're someone who sweats easily or sweats more so than usual, this should help alleviate that as well. Now, also talking about that, the head straps, the elastic head straps, they are pretty long, so I would say that this mask should pretty much fit any kind of head size out there. And I would say that given the use of the material, it doesn't really kind of rub against your skin, and even if it does, I would say it doesn't really cause any form of itchiness or something like that. But of course, it depends on you and your skin condition and stuff like that. Overall, I would say that it's pretty comfortable and very easily adjustable. Great, even for me wearing specs. Now the only thing that I want to mention that I don't really like about the mask, and it's definitely my biggest gripe about it, is the weight of it. This mask weighs just about 200 plus grams, which is right about half a pound. That's pretty heavy. Now it might not feel as such, especially when you're just holding the mask in your hand, but if you're wearing it for long hours on end, you'll definitely start to feel the weight of it. Personally for me, in about the first hour or so, it was okay. And up until the second hour, still kind of okay, but right after the second hour into the third, yeah, you definitely start to feel the pressure on your face and the weight of the mask. And even more so than that, because it weighs about 200 grams, kind of heavy, you do have to tighten it a little bit more so than usual as compared to other masks. So that would also induce a little bit more pressure on your face as well, which adds to the discomfort over time. So that's pretty much my main gripe about it. Oh, and of course, it is quite annoying to remove the mask every now and then, especially when you just want to grab a bite or you just want to sip of a drink, stuff like that. You can remove it and kind of like let it hang on your neck, I guess. But yeah, I guess this is doable, but if let's say you want to keep it or you don't want it to hang on your neck, you have to always kind of pull on the straps and then remove it. Yeah, kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Also, as you might have already noticed, when I was wearing the mask, my voice is definitely a lot different. This is a lot more muffled. And yeah, compared to Project Hazel, which was the concept for this mask, the Zephyr doesn't feature any form of mic or any form of speakers to amplify your voice. So yep, when you're wearing the mask, it is definitely a lot more muted than not wearing it. So something to take note. So for now, I'll take off the mask and let's talk about those N95 filters. Along with the Zephyr are 3 sets of those N95 filters, with each set containing 3 separate pieces, 2 for the intakes on each side and 1 for the exhaust. Now, I'm not too sure if exhaust is the right word to use here, but basically it's where you exhale. It's extremely easy to put them on. Just remove the magnetic vents and place them gently in the slot, and then place back the magnetic vents thereafter. Now, Razer recommends you to dispose of all the filters after 72 hours, meaning each set should last you roughly 24 hours of actual use. Once you use them all up, you can purchase additional filters directly from Razer. Now, the Zephyr is Bluetooth enabled, because of course it is. So you can download the dedicated Zephyr app, and with it, you can control specific functions that's unique to the mask itself. What you get in the app is very straightforward. You can control the fan speed, the internal lighting, and the external lighting. Right at the bottom is also a one-tap access to the Razer store, so you can purchase more filters as and when you need. There are 3 main settings for the fans: off, low, and high. I have to say that they perform as they should, but my recommendation is to keep it at low. On the high settings, while you do get better airflow, the whine from the fan is quite audible. On low, you can still kind of hear it, but it's way less annoying. You can of course keep it off as well for some actual silence, and that's pretty much okay in my experience, because compared to standard N95 mask, the Zephyr is already much more breathable. But if you don't want to take out your phone, that's also fine as well, because you can actually toggle the fan speed using the power button on the Zephyr itself. Now, as for lighting, it's basically full Razer Chroma RGB. So as you can tell, you can basically set it to whichever you want, whatever you want. If you're familiar with any of their peripherals, their mice, their keyboards, their Razer blades, their systems, any of that, if you're used to their Razer Cinema software, this is almost exactly the same. Now, the key highlight of the mask is definitely the transparent design. As you can see, you can now actually see me talking and see my mouth movement even though I'm wearing a mask. And that's achieved through the help of the internal lighting inside. Now, my only recommendation is, yes, while you can basically choose any kind of color you want for the internal lighting, I would suggest to keep it to white so that you actually look more natural. Alright, as you can tell, it's really muffling my voice, so I'm just gonna leave it on my neck. If you swipe from the bottom, you also get access to additional settings such as the brightness and your saved preset colors. Same goes for the external lighting, but here you get one additional lighting mode called Wave, which can be further customized in speed and direction as well. So that's pretty much it about the mask. Now, talking about battery life, I got around 6 hours or so when I used it on 50% brightness on the external lighting, with the internal lighting turned off and the fan on low speed, which is right about what is stated on the box itself according to Razer. So I would say it's pretty much in line with what they claimed. Now, if you were to run it at full tilt, maximum brightness, both the internal and external lighting on and the fan on high speed, you can expect roughly half that amount of battery life. So right about 3 hours or so. But of course, you can charge it right back up using the USB-C port on the bottom. So, would I recommend the Zephyr? Now, honestly, if you're planning to use this daily, probably not. Firstly, it's quite bulky. You can't fold it up and put it in your pocket, and even if you just let it hang on your neck like I'm doing right now, it is kind of bulky, so it is what it is. Secondly, it's rather heavy. At 200 grams or right about half a pound, you will definitely feel the weight, especially if you're going to wear it for long hours on end. So yeah, not that comfortable, especially right after the 2-hour mark. Now, thirdly, the battery life. This is a wearable air purifier, so you would definitely likely want to run the fans on even if you don't want the RGB on. And going about 5 to 6 hours of battery life, while it's not bad, it's still not an actual days of use, so just something to take note. And lastly, well, your voice gets muffled, as you can evidently tell. Unlike Project Hazel, the Zephyr doesn't have any form of mics or amps or speakers of the sort, so yep, this is what your friends or your colleagues or co-workers, this is what they'll hear when you wear the mask. So it's not really ideal. But with all that said, if you want a really cool yet actually effective N95 mask, this is it. There really isn't anything like it out there in the market right now. And not only that, you're actually also helping out with the sustainability effort that Razer is trying to push. Because, well, this is a reusable mask, and all you really gotta do is just change the disposable N95 filters, which are really small in size. Compared to your standard N95 mask or your standard disposable mask, this is definitely much more eco-friendly in that sense. So you're also helping out as well. In short, The Razer Zephyr is a proper N95 mask or wearable air purifier that just so happens to look extremely cool. And not only that, it comes with Bluetooth support with a dedicated app to match and Razer Chroma RGB. You gotta have that Chroma RGB. Of course, it's Razer. So, if you're looking for arguably the coolest mask out there in the market right now, but yet actually staying safe, this is probably it. If you have any questions, let us know in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to, do check out our affiliate links in the description. If you do, thanks for the support. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Till the next one. See ya!